What is up, everybody? In today's video, I wanted to go over the couple ways that you can save money and possibly make money when doing a project car build. All that in today's episode. My name is Ryan. This is Project Race Car. Let's get into it. So as us car guys know, these projects can get very expensive very quickly, and oftentimes you end up broke with a $30,000 into a car after the project is said and done. So sometimes dumping your entire life savings into a 30-year-old car isn't the best financial route to go, unless you actually plan on saving money and possible ways to make money off of doing this. And today I wanted to go over the couple of things that I am doing to actually help fund the E30 project. And hopefully it can help you guys out. But before the video gets started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are almost at 5,000. We need about 300 more subscribers, so that is insane. I would like to get to 5,000 by the end of the year, so if you guys could make that happen, I would greatly appreciate that. But let's talk about the number one thing that I recommend. So some of you guys may know, this is my 1991 BMW E30. It is on the way of being fully restored and kind of modded out. But the next thing we are doing is throwing a K motor, a turbo K series in the engine bay. And again, it can get very expensive very quickly. So the first thing that I would recommend is any parts that you do not use, you can sell. And this basically just helps you out, obviously for easy reasons, but Facebook Marketplace and eBay are a great place to sell things, and reselling parts can sometimes even make you money. So I'm actually going with the K motor, which you can normally find for about $800. And in this chassis, I had an M42, which is an old BMW 4-cylinder. And I was able to sell the motor and transmission for $1,500 with, the car had 280,000 miles on it. So I think that that is a very good deal for a very old, undesirable motor. So you can also sell the transmission and the ECU. You can sell the drive shaft because it's a manual, and if you're replacing parts, you might as well sell the old parts because they can go for a lot. I used to work at an old BMW vintage dealership, and parts is where we made all of our money. And selling old parts, it helps other people finish their projects as well as keeps you funded for getting more projects and more car parts. So I was able to sell my old transmission and engine setup, and I plan to sell a couple other parts that I won't need for the K series. So I would recommend starting with selling parts. It can be very easy to ship parts out or sell them on Facebook Marketplace. So that is the first step. Like I said, that one was very simple and understandable. The second one that I would recommend is actually applying for credit cards before you make any initial purchases. So for me, I know that I'm going to be spending a decent amount of money on some of these car parts. And so I applied for a credit card that gives me a certain amount of cash back. So if you apply for a credit card that gives you a certain amount of cash back, or sometimes they will have sign-on bonuses where if you spend a certain amount of money, you will get $200 back or $300 or whatever the amount is. So if you have the money and plan to pay it off, you might as well get the cashback bonus as well as the sign-on bonus. So that's what I did. I got a cashback match bonus through Discover, and so I was able to get upwards of 5% cashback on larger purchases, as well as they'll match me for the cashback at the end of the year. So I highly recommend looking and shopping around for credit cards. Again, You can always look up certain credit card deals and how to manage your credit card properly. Don't go into debt and don't, actually spend the money unless you have it. But if you do have it and are planning on to use it, you might as well get the cash back as well as the bonus if you can. I hope that one makes sense to you guys. I know I am completely butchering the actual description of that, but I hope you guys know what I mean. If you guys have any questions about any of these, you can always hit me up in the comments down below. I try to respond to every single comment. We also all know the term "a penny saved is a penny earned," and that is very true. If you guys can find a cheaper option available, then that might be the better option. When I was originally looking at doing this, I actually looked at eBay to see if anybody was selling their old parts, and unfortunately I had a guy, but the product was wrong. So I would recommend checking out junkyards, eBay, Facebook. Sometimes people will sell used turbos that only have 1,000 miles on them for a relatively good price. So saving money that way is a huge win. Sometimes you can save upwards of $300 or $400 just for people trying to make some of their money back. And so that is one way that I recommend saving money on some of these parts. I will probably be going with a used turbo, and if I can't find one at the time, I will just end up buying new, but it's always good to check and make sure that there are not any used parts for a lot cheaper of a price. Before we get into the last one, I want to take a second to just check out this engine bay. Look how much better it looks. I could still clean up that side a little bit. I will be moving a lot of the brake booster stuff around and fidgeting with the lines and making everything look better. But the engine bay cleaned up real nicely. I really can't wait to get back in this thing and actually rip it. I think that it's ready for to be back up and running. So I was able to order parts. Parts are a little bit delayed, so parts are coming in. We will be able to kind of figure out the K-motor and get videos on that, but until then, we are kind of just in this waiting game. Okay, so the fourth and final recommendation that I have is try content creating. If you guys are doing a big project, anything that you guys can be interested in, you guys will find others that are, as well as it just helps the community out. I've been able to create content for the last 2 years, and it took me about 2 years to actually start making money. But from that, I have also helped a ton of people out. I have been able to connect with you guys and actually build somewhat of an audience, so I am super proud about that, and I am also very, very thankful for you guys. Some of you guys have been here since the beginning, and again, I very much appreciate the support and everything that you guys do. So the thing about content creating is that it is not profitable for a long time, and it does have to be kind of a grind, and you do have to enjoy the little parts of it. I originally started YouTube, to try to make buku dollars, but I realized that that is not the case. I am now doing it to help you guys out, to help people with their car journeys, to try to give you guys entertainment, and help you guys out with some of your builds. I know that a lot of my videos that have done really well have been how-tos, and I've tried to help people out with stuff that they're struggling with or anything like that. So sometimes you have to find a greater purpose for the content creating, because I am by no means profitable, but it is the type of thing that it is helping me out, and it makes it worth it to try to do. So it is something that could scale and become profitable in the future, but for right now, it's just something that I enjoy doing. So if you guys can start making content on some sort of car, and build somewhat of an audience and enjoy it while you are doing it, to helping people out, then that is always worth it. So this gives me something to do, and also, again, it helps save money with the actual build. So I'm very excited to keep growing with the E30. I hope that these 4 tips help you guys out in some way. Maybe you guys haven't thought about, doing the credit card thing, or applying for new credit cards, or creating content around your build. But I highly recommend all 4 of these things. This is what I'm trying to do with the E30, and this is how I'm able to somewhat make it happen. So I highly recommend doing these things. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And until next time, my name is Ryan. This is Project Race Car. Have an amazing day. Peace.